Now at 10, a Joplin police officer will not be charged for a shooting incident earlier this year. Plus, businesses, residents, and city leaders attend a meeting to determine the future of the 69 highway project. And a cleanup is underway in Vernon County after heavy rains bring flooding conditions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A state investigation clears a Joplin police officer of wrongdoing in a shooting. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The investigation conducted by the Missouri Highway Patrol concerns a February 9th shooting on West 7th Street. An internal investigation conducted by the JPD had already determined the officer acted appropriately. However, Joplin police asked the Highway Patrol to process the crime scene and investigate as an outside agency. The Jasper County Prosecutor's Office has determined charges are not warranted in the case. Joplin police were investigating a report of a suspicious person on the morning of February 9th. A Joplin police officer encountered the person and fired his gun, striking the suspect once in the hand-wrist area, a non-life-threatening injury. Police say the suspect received aid immediately. Crawford County residents tonight voiced their support for a plan to expand Highway 69 as it currently is, rather than creating a bypass. The SEK Highway 69 Strategic Alliance hosted a meeting to bring community members together with Pittsburgh and Crawford County officials to discuss possible expansion plans. One option is to expand the current bypass, which many of the residents in attendance apparently support. Another is a proposal to create a new bypass west of the current one in Crawford County. Some residents worry that would hurt local businesses.
Determination now is not so much to be against the western bypass, but to be for upgrading and improving the existing bypass around Pittsburgh. We know that's a lot more economical way to go.
KDOT is currently looking at economic surveys to see how much impact each plan would have. Some storms moving in. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we've been getting showers and thunderstorms once again over the past few hours, dipping down through southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. When they were in our western counties a little bit stronger, we actually had one tornado warning. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings, but right now we can't rule out a severe thunderstorm warning, especially with this little Boeing that you have pushing into Craig County. But most of us, these are just going to be good old storms, especially Kansas into Missouri. The little better shot to get anything strong or severe is going to be way down toward Nowata or Veneta. So I really think most of us are good, but we are going to get some heavy amounts of rain once again as we go through the overnight hours tonight. So look at this batch continuing to drop south over the next several hours. A little bit of a lull late tonight, and then we see additional showers and thunderstorms pushing back in tomorrow morning. Of course, we're going to talk a lot more about this here in just a bit.
See you soon. Some Vernon County, Missouri residents say the flood water from the weekend rain is receding slowly. Vernon County is one of the areas hit hard by those heavy weekend rains. The area received between 10 and 15 inches of rain, causing flooding at several creeks and 3 rivers running through the county. County officials say they're dealing with moderate damage to gravel roads, some fallen trees, and farmland. Some county roads remain underwater and impassable. Nearby residents hope it'll be back to normal levels in a couple of days.
I think there's about 50 cars a day come out here and stop and look at it.
You can read the full written statement from Vernon County officials about the flood impact and specific areas of concern on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Verdigris River at Coffeyville today crested at about 19 feet, which is classified as a minor flood stage. It's dropped more than 1.5 feet since then, just today. It's anticipated that the river level is going to continue to drop fairly rapidly over the next several hours. You may remember just yesterday, the Kansas Department of Health and Environment issued a stream advisory for part of the Verdigris River because of an oil well spill. The log jam on the Neosho River in Ottawa County, Oklahoma continues to grow near Twin Bridges State Park. Look at this mess. It's estimated to be the size of 2 football fields right now, with more debris expected to join in from upstream. We spoke with the mayor of Miami, Bless Parker, who says there currently is no plan to remove the jam.
What we're hearing is it's a lot of finger pointing. GRDA is not saying much, which is par for the course for them because they don't want to take responsibility for any of their actions. Again, this is no different than before. So now they're blaming ODOT. ODOT's blaming the Corps. Corps' blaming GRDA. It's just a big finger pointing thing. So nobody's taking accountability. Nobody's taking any responsibility here. But again, the citizens are the ones that are going to pay the price.
There are also concerns about a BNSF railroad about a half-mile downstream from that log jam. Elsewhere in Oklahoma, cleanup efforts are underway due to the tornadoes that ravaged several communities over the weekend, leaving dozens injured. One woman in Holdenville, Oklahoma, says she's thankful for the protection she and her husband had in their shelter. Terrell Colby has their story.
Debris, limbs, and shattered windows. It's all over here in Holdenville.
We have a cellar in the garage.
One woman tells me compared to some of her neighbors, she feels lucky with all this wreckage. But her friends and family may have a tougher road to rebuild.
We were getting in the cellar when we heard this tremendous crash sound.
Julia Kazee says Saturday night turned quickly when she had to rush her husband with mobility issues into the cellar.
We finally got into the cellar, and it's a heck of a door that you have to shut, and there's no counterweight or anything on it, so I was doing it physically.
Thankfully, her house wasn't right in the path, and that crashing she heard was just this front window. But the situation made her think.
If we had taken a direct hit, we would have been dead.
She says they were in the shelter for about an hour before her son came to check on them.
That was the best sound ever. When I heard my son's phone ringing outside the cellar door, I thought, well, thank goodness.
But when she got out thanks to her son, she realized her cousin's home hadn't fared as well as hers.
It damaged, I'd say, 80% of the house.
She tells me she had just moved back in from a previous tornado, and now it's a complete loss. Now cleaning up is their focus.
I have to do things on a small scale. I said I'm just getting sticks out of the flower beds today, but that's a big stick.
Kazee tells me getting out of that shelter and seeing what the community is going through has been tough.
We did have a family. We did have a family that lost a infant, and it just, life is short, and you just don't take it for granted.
At least 4 deaths have been confirmed from the tornadoes in Oklahoma. 100 people were injured. A Riverton record holder is going to take her track skills to pit stage. John Dales has the latest on the senior standout becoming a gorilla later in sports. But first, the Pitt State Electrical Technology program also holds a signing day for some standout students. Large numbers of NYPD officers in riot gear entered Columbia University this evening. The move comes after the school began restricting access to its main campus after pro-Palestinian protesters broke into and occupied a school administration building. Michael George has the latest.
Police in riot gear moved into the grounds of Columbia University late Tuesday after the school vowed to expel protesters who occupied a building on its New York City campus. Earlier Tuesday, a banner reading "Free Palestine" hung from a window at Columbia University's Hamilton Hall. After university leaders said demonstrators against Israel's war in Gaza broke into the building using hammers overnight.
There's no business as usual during a genocide, and I'm very proud of my fellow students.
The takeover came hours after a deadline for the protesters to clear their encampment that some argue has created a hostile environment.
The rhetoric that's led to harassment and anti-Semitic tropes has gone unchecked.
On Tuesday, the school issued a stay-away notice for members of staff, telling them to avoid the Morningside campus. Early Tuesday, authorities were seen forcefully removing protesters at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Protesters are demanding the schools cut ties with Israel, arguing the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is an issue they can no longer ignore. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
In a statement, Columbia University said in part, quote, "A little after 9 p.m. this evening, the NYPD arrived on campus at the university's request. This decision was made to restore safety and order to our community. We regret that protesters have chosen to escalate the situation through their actions, end quote. Dozens of vendors set up booths at the Together Crawford County Community Job and Resource Fair today in Pittsburgh. The fair brings together local resources and employers. Organizers say the goal is to provide a community service.
I want to experience the help. If they need help, if they need employment, we're here to connect the dots. We have over 60 vendors from Catholic Charities to Honeyball, several different agencies, any part of DCF we're here. So we're just really here for questions, for help, and just to learn and grow.
Together, Crawford County Community Job and Resource Fair took place at the Pittsburgh Memorial Auditorium. The Pitt State Electrical Technology Program held a signing day today. Similar to an athletic signing day, the program recognized 18 students who will not only graduate in May, but have been recruited for full-time employment. One instructor says he hopes to give students the proper foundation for what might be the career.
We focus on our second-year students that are going to work. We want to highlight the companies that they're going to work for and the positions that they are accepting. And this is just a really unique way to celebrate that.
We start out at the same level and we build just like a house. We dig out for the foundation, pour the foundation, and start laying the walls. And today represents the roof being on the house and ready to turn the key and go in.
Industry representatives participated in that celebration. It appears Kansas will not be banning gender-affirming care for minors. The State House last night failed to override Democratic Governor Laura Kelly's veto of the bill. The Republican-controlled Senate had enough votes to enact the ban, but the House was 2 votes shy. The measure would have stopped hormone therapies, puberty blockers, and surgeries for trans and non-binary youth in Kansas. Governor Kelly called the failed override a win for parental rights and Kansas families. The race for councilperson in Ward 1 of Carterville, Missouri is over. Now, finally, residents today voted in a special election to determine the winner after the race ended in a tie with 14 votes going to both Devin Keeling and Darlene Taylor. 5 more residents cast their ballots today, with Keeling winning the position by a count of 18 to 15. A little later, Missouri Southern and Pitt State get some bragging rights. John Dales has the latest on the awards handed out by the MIAA coming up later in sports.
Plus, showers and thunderstorms continue tonight. Those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nice day for us today, and then, of course, this evening, we've had showers and thunderstorms popping back up over the past few hours. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but it looks okay, even though we have showers and thunderstorms, which are going to be dropping in as we go through the next several hours. Look at this big batch. Had some severe weather earlier, so we were mainly in our western counties, have 1 tornado warning and then several severe thunderstorm warnings. Now this line is right at or just a hair below that severe limit. Still very strong, so most of these are going to produce winds 40 to 50, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, and some heavy amounts of rain. But overall, I don't think we're going to see much in the way of severe weather. We can't rule out 1 or 2 more warnings, but much more intense line once you get down across really from Chautauqua back toward Veneta. And then here's where the line's being a little bit more consistently severe, stretching all the way back toward Ponca City. Let's go ahead, zoom in. Intense storm, severe thunderstorm warning. So we're looking Washington County over toward Nowata. You can see how the storm curls up here. So we get a little bit of a bow. So we're getting winds that are pushing out just a bit. So we're getting winds kind of in that 50 upwards to 60 miles per hour. Pretty intense. Chautauqua up to Oswego, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. Heaviest is now rolling out of Parsons, Cherokee County. Ottawa County, you guys are in line next, and then Joplin and Pittsburgh. But of course, overall, again, I think these are just going to be kind of strong storms as we go through the rest of the night. Watch the batch continue to work through over the next hour. By about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, most of this is out of here. It's going to roll right into northwestern Arkansas. So Neosho, Anderson, Pineville, Jane, over toward Eagle Rock. You guys will get into the action later on tonight, but again, nothing severe. A little bit of a lull, and then showers and thunderstorms pop up again tomorrow morning. So the first half of the day, we're going to have those showers and thunderstorms out there. This is due to a weak little upper level wave, another one behind it, which will affect us on Thursday. So we've had quite a bit of rain over the past several days. And again, we're going to have the rain through tomorrow morning. By tomorrow afternoon, we break out, partly sunny skies, upper 70s for highs. Severe weather ongoing tomorrow night out across central and western Kansas. We're going to get those storms in here Thursday morning. Most likely not severe, which would be great, but some showers and thunderstorms. Now, Thursday afternoon, as our next cold front heads in, we got to watch for some strong to severe thunderstorms. You know, kind of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m. Very similar to what we've seen today by Thursday afternoon. All right, rainfall. This is just over the next 24 hours. Additional, a lot of areas who are really getting the rain are going to be picking up an additional ½ an inch to an inch, maybe even more than that in spots. Of course, we've had some flash flooding issues. Once we get the sun tomorrow, we get back to about 78 degrees, morning rain, and then evening thunderstorms Thursday. Friday in general looks good, and then thunderstorm chances again this weekend.
Some rivers and streams have been receding, but of course that can change very quickly. And it's not just what falls overhead, it's what falls upstream.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doug. Authorities say a mountain lion was spotted yesterday near Galesburg Middle School in Neosho County, Kansas. The city says the mountain lion was startled, then fled south. Officials advise people to use caution during outdoor activities in the area. To report a sighting, contact the Neosho County Sheriff's Department or the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. Still ahead, a track and field school record holder from Riverton signs with Pitt State. And a Pitt State outfielder is named MIAA Softball Player of the Year. John Dale says those stories and more. It's coming up next.
Hey, welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. A school record holder at Riverton signs this afternoon to continue her track and field career at Pitt State. Riverton High School senior Kelsey Locke signs with Pittsburgh State Track and Field today. She holds the school record in both shot put and discus throw. The future Gorilla says Pitt State is always where she wanted to go.
Years ago, if you would have asked me, you know, are you wanting to go to college for throwing, I would have been like, I don't know if I can make it, but I worked so hard this summer for this, and I'm so thankful that I get the opportunity to throw collegiately. They were the top of my list because their track program is awesome, and I knew if I could secure them, like, oh, it was just exciting.
The MIAA releases its 2024 softball postseason awards this afternoon. Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State both well represented, but the Gorillas overwhelmingly lead the way. Pittsburgh State head coach Jenny Fuller and her assistants are named the 2024 MIAA Coaching Staff of the Year. According to PSU Athletics, this is the first time in program history that the Gorilla softball coaching staff has earned this award. Pitt State won the regular season conference title and is ranked 4th nationally in the most recent coaches poll. Pittsburgh State outfielder Heather Arnett is named the 2024 MIAA Softball Co-Player of the Year. She shares the award with Taryn Ritz from Central Oklahoma. Arnett led the conference in hits, batting average, runs scored, triples, and stolen bases in the regular season, and she holds school records in career stolen bases along with runs scored in a single season. Pittsburgh State pitcher Ava Laurent is named the MIAA Freshman of the Year. She's made an immediate impact in her first collegiate season with a team best 1.97 ERA. Laurent also leads the conference in strikeouts with 192. She holds a win-loss record of 18-1 on the season. Here's a look at all of the Gorillas to receive all conference honors. Maddie Fernandez, Hannah Burnett, and Paxton Hayes, they join Laurent and Arnett on the first team all-conference. Burnett and Arnett each are named to the MIAA Gold Glove team, and shortstop Gabby Schultz receives honorable mention, all MIAA honors. Elsewhere, 6 members of Missouri Southern softball team take home all MIAA honors. Taylor Knuckles, Kylie Jacks, and Kara Amos are all named to the second team All-Conference. Jacks is one of 3 Lions on the Gold Glove team, along with Kiki Pickens and Yasmin Vargas. Then Vargas and Katie Gray, both of them are on the honorable mention All-MIAA team. Fairland Slow Pitch Softball qualifies for the state tournament for the first time in school history, and tomorrow morning the Lady Owls begin play at state. Here's a look at the bracket for the Class 3A state tournament. It starts and ends tomorrow. The Lady Owls face Tushka in the quarterfinals at 10 a.m. If they win that first game, they advance to the semifinals at 1 in the afternoon. Then the 3A state title game is tomorrow evening at 5:30. The Lady Owls got to this point by winning both their district and regional tournaments. They won all 3 games at districts by a combined run differential of 23. Then this past week, Fairland wins 2 of its 3 games at regionals, beating Duar in the championship round. That's a look at sports. Back with more news after this.
Tomorrow is May Day, a traditional celebration of flowers, warmer weather. A lot of ancient calendars, May 1st welcomed the first day of summer and was a cause for celebration. In many parts of the U.S., daffodils and other flowers are already in bloom as April showers have brought or will bring May flowers in those cases where they've been washed out by too much rain. Many Americans have observed the day by planting flowers or delivering a basket of flower bulbs to friends and neighbors. You can share your own May 1st celebration on social media with the hashtag May Day. In our case, April showers are leading into May showers.
Yeah, and thunderstorms. We're going to have thunderstorms out there for the rest of the night for us tonight. Most of these are going to behave, but it is going to be a little bit on the loud side as we go through the overnight hours. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow morning, and then partly sunny in the afternoon, but plenty of chances for rain.
Thanks for joining us. Do be careful out there. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.
Closed captioning on